Good evening and welcome. Hope to find you well as we join you tonight high atop Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon at the University of Oregon for the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Basketball State Championships here on OSAA.tv. The 5A Girls Championship in 2012 will be between the top two teams out of the state and out of the Midwestern Conference. The Springfield Millers, the champions from a year ago, are trying to repeat against the Willamette Wolverines, who finished number 2 behind Springfield in that Mid-Willamette Conference. The Springfield Millers are clad in blue as the designated road team here tonight. Bill Wagner's team has a 25-3 record, and they ran the table in the Midwestern League with a perfect 12-0 slate. They've won 27 straight. If they win 28, they will lift a state title trophy for a second consecutive year. Their opponent, the Willamette Wolverines, number 2 in the OSAA's RPI rankings, came in as the other number 1 seed in the bracket of 16 here in 2012. Paul Brothers' team is 25-2. They went 8-2. The lone losses all season long are to the Springfield Millers. Willamette has won 11 in a row and looks to make it 12 here in a state championship, which would be their 3rd in school history. Introducing the starters right now for the Springfield Millers as head coach Bill Wagner in his 2nd season introduces this starting 5 at the point guard position. It is a 5'4" senior Allison Hinton. At the wings, a 5'7" senior Stephanie Fleisner, a 5'7" senior Kaylee Potter, a 5'6" junior Nikki Duncan, and on the inside, the player of the year from a year ago, the 6'6" junior Mercedes Russell. Now the Willamette Wolverines are designated the home team. They're clad in white with black numerals and lettering, and the starting 5 for them. The 5'9" sophomore guard at the point guard position, Lexi Bando. A 5'7" junior guard, Kelsey Josh. A 6' sophomore guard, Samantha Osborne. A 5'11" junior post, Brittany Glassow. And a 5'10" senior post, Tori Mahaffey. Mahaffey, one of just 2 seniors on this Willamette Wolverine team. Willamette headman Paul Brothers in his 18th season, and along with him, Lance Haas, Dan Hazelton, Stacy Ermini, and Emily Gray. As we said, the Wolverines have been as good as anybody in 5A basketball. They won 17 of their 19 games against 5A teams, were 12-1 at home and 9-1 on the road. They average 56 points per game. They only give up 35.8 points per game. Springfield and head coach Bill Wagner, his 2nd season as the head man at Springfield after 12 years at North Eugene, 10 years with the boys, 2 years with the girls. He's assisted by Rusty Cottrell, Brian Perieres, and Ashley Sequina. The Midwestern League champions average 60 points per game. They only give up 31.7 points per game. How's this for a stat? Springfield at the state tournament through their first 2 games have only allowed 38 points. They beat Wilsonville 59-15, and they beat Bend 53-23 yesterday to get to this championship. Mercedes Russell is going to jump against Kelsey Josh. Essentially, Willamette is going to allow Russell to win the tip, and she flips it back to Hinton. It is going to be Springfield to start with the ball here. Hinton, the 5'4" senior guard, a starter last year in the state championship game that Springfield won. It was a tight one down to the wire, 42-40 over West Albany. Kaylee Potter holding in the corner. A 5'7" senior circles up top to Hinton. Left corner, a 3 to open it up. And Josh secures the rebound for the Willamette Wolverines. She will give to Brittany Glassow. Glassow is important as anybody for Willamette in their quarterfinal victory over Milwaukee. They beat them 59-34. In that game, Glassow, 21 points and 9 rebounds. Springfield in a zone, and Willamette is standing at half court. Glassow dribbling across the timeline. No shot clock in Oregon, and the Boo Birds are out already. These 2 teams have played twice already, December 16th, so very early in the season for a league game, and it was at Willamette High School. Springfield won that one as tight as could be, 49-46. Both coaches said it was an early season game for sure, and it definitely felt like it at times, but it was back and forth all the way down to the end. Springfield won the second game at their place on January 24th, 57-35. They're going to switch the defense for Springfield and make Willamette start to play here with already 90-plus seconds gone in the first quarter. And scoreless early on. They weave around the top, Mahaffey holding outside. The senior throws back to Glasso, where she was a minute ago. And Bill Wagner says, go put pressure on her. This possession almost 2 minutes long. Potter hounding, and Glasso again with the ball on her right hip. Mahaffey down to Glasso in the corner, guarded by Russell, thrown back out on top, and Osborne's open. She'll attack, throw it Mahaffey left side, blocked away out of bounds. Willamette ball. It was Fleissner, the 5'7" senior, who got the hand of the shot for Mahaffey. 5:43 left here in the first quarter, and we're still scoreless. Kelsey Josh to put it in play. Lobbed over the top, Tori Mahaffey. Back to Glasso, ball on her right hip. Lexi Bando, the superb sophomore guard, out to the far side. Osborne now. This starting 5 for Willamette includes the senior Mahaffey, the junior Glasso, and then sophomores Bando and Osborne, and another junior in Josh. Bando holding up top. Glasso again on the far side. Paul Brothers, the 18th year head coach, said, we've tried just about everything against them. We'll see what wrinkle we had. He didn't tip his hat that the wrinkle was going to be to go 4 corners here and try to make Springfield come out. What he did say was Mercedes Russell is such a game changer. Sure, on the offensive end, she's so tough to guard at 6'6". He compared her kind of to Brittany Griner in the fact that really at 6'9", there's not a whole lot of people who can guard the Baylor superb center at the college game for the women. Well, in Oregon high school basketball, there's really not anybody who can guard Mercedes Russell, the 6'6" junior for the Springfield Millers, especially at the 5A classification. Near side, Glasso will start to dribble, find some space, attack and kick. Bando up top, around a pick. 4:15 on the clock here in the first quarter. One shot, it's going to be Glasso takes a 3. It's going to be short, and she gets the rebound. Kicks it back out. And they'll get reset again, back at half court. Mahaffey holding. Couple of offensive rebounds, poked out of bounds, and a foul's going to be called on the far sideline on Kaylee Potter. First foul of the game, 4 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter, and we're still scoreless. Kelsey Josh the inbound on the far sideline. And without the shot clock here, Willamette doing their very best to shorten the game. They'd really like to have it come down to the end, apparently. And Mercedes Russell can camp out right in the paint there, and nobody's going to attack her. To finish the thought, though, Paul Brothers said that as good as Russell is offensively, she's even tougher defensively because she's going to swat everything once you get within about 9-10 feet of the hoop. And the other piece of that is because she's in the inside, it allows the guards for Springfield to be more aggressive on the outside. Because let's say you get past the guard, well, she's right there to protect the paint. Mahaffey and now Glasso holding. Almost 5 minutes gone here in this first quarter. Willamette has taken 2 shots. One was blocked out of bounds. It was a Mahaffey attempt that was blocked by Potter. The other was a Glasso three-pointer that came off the front iron. And she got her own rebound to extend the possession. Glasso one dribble and throws back to Mahaffey. 2:45 left here in the first period. And still scoreless. Josh to Brittany Glasso. She had 21 in the quarterfinals, Glasso did, and just 2 points in the semifinal win that Willamette had against West Albany last night. They beat them 47-33. They beat Milwaukee 59-32. Milwaukee ended up 4th place in this state tournament, beating Wilsonville this morning 42-35. the third place team, West Albany, who beat Bend earlier today in the afternoon session, 40-28. Now 2:10 left in the first quarter, and Willamette still possessing. Mahaffey and back to Lexi Bando. The sophomore guard directing a little bit of traffic here. It's the 8-minute last shot offense. Mahaffey there, 11 points in the quarterfinals, and in 20 minutes, 7 points and 7 rebounds in last night's win over West Albany. And a foul up top, second one on Potter. Coming out to apply the pressure on Glassow. That's the second foul of the game, so now it's going to be a sideline inbound with 91 seconds left here in the first quarter. And a change coming for the Millers. Ashley Ritchie off the bench, a 5'8" junior. She's going to come into the game. Ritchie was a starter a year ago, applying pressure up top. Now they're double teaming. Glassow on the near sideline is stuck, and she traveled the ball to turn it over. And a roar from the Springfield crowd. But 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock in the first quarter. We're scoreless with 1:15 left in the period. Hinton up top will attack to the right. It's going to be Potter to the line. She's fouled and will go to shoot two. And bad news for Willamette. Tori Mahaffey came down awkwardly on her left ankle. And that is the leg, and maybe it wasn't the ankle, but the knee actually. Mahaffey, the 5'10" senior for the Wolverines. They actually lost her right before the playoffs started in the 2009 season when they beat North Eugene for the championship. It was an ACL injury to that left knee, and they didn't really get her back fully. And last year she was back, but still trying to feel herself out. She was a little bit tentative, according to Paul Brothers. And then they thought they lost her for the year this season as well. She got hurt in the first game with Springfield this season, the same knee, and they thought they were going to have to operate again. And as it turned out, the swelling went down. The doctor took a look, said, you know, this is pretty strong. Why don't we try to rehab it? And they rehabbed it, and they were able to get her back. But obviously, a lot of concern right now for the coaching staff for the Willamette Wolverines. The trainer's out there checking with Mahaffey. She's showing that she can move that leg around right now. But anytime there's damage inside that knee, you can see that big brace there. And so Mahaffey is going to be helped off. Nice hand for the crowd. The change is the other senior is going to have to come into the game for Willamette, and it will be the 5'11" senior post, Shanice Robertson. We have shots coming here with a scoreless game, 1:08 left in the first quarter. And it is Kaylee Potter at the line, shooting two. And Springfield scores first. Potter in last night's game where they beat Bend, she ended up 2 for 3 from the free throw line and had 6 points. Makes them both, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Millers. 1:08 left. So Shanice Robertson replaces Glassow, as being attended to on the bench. Robertson bounces it to Glassow, and now back to Robinson. Springfield's been able to kind of extend their defense with the 3 guards outside the perimeter up top. And Mercedes Russell is still standing there inside. Josh, back to Robinson. Osborne to Robertson. And the other senior for the Wolverines kicks. Bando a three on the right wing. It's off the front iron. And Russell chases down the rebound. Her first touch of the entire ball game other than the jump ball. 25 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Springfield's lead is 2-0. Hinton dribbling up top. Whitney Bradshaw, 5'8" senior wearing 14, has come into the game. Top of the key, a three at 5 seconds left is going to come out, but out to Hinton. Down to Russell. At the buzzer, banks it home. Mercedes Russell, a bank shot from an incredibly tough angle, 18 feet away, gives Springfield a 4-0 lead after 1 quarter of play here at the 5A State Championship in 2012. You're watching it on OSAA.tv.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said, "Go to Les Schwab." When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Second quarter action here in Eugene, the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Girls Basketball State Championships. Willamette goes stall in the first quarter. Springfield, though, strikes twice and have a 4-0 lead. Springfield's guards continue to extend that pressure outside as Willamette continues to weave out at half court. At some point, you can only do this for so long, and Willamette has taken a few shots from the outside. Osborne missed a top-of-the-key three, and Lexi Bando missed one out on the right corner. I would surmise that the problem with this is it's going to be tough to keep your shooters hot. And Springfield's going to bounce back into what looks to be a 3-2 right now. Or you could even say they're in a matchup with Russell guarding Glasso, who's got the ball on her right hip. Bill Wagner over on the far sideline is just kind of all sorts of frustrated right now, directing his team, but at the same time, just kind of sitting there going, I guess this is what we're going to do. Wagner in his second season here, he won the state title last year, and for Springfield, it was their first ever state title. 16th playoff appearance this year. Springfield is 34-22 all-time in the playoffs. They have 9 quarterfinals and 4 semifinals. Third time they've been to the championship, and last year's title, when they beat West Albany, was their first ever school state title. As Brittany Glasso continues to hold the ball on her hip. 6:15 on the clock here in the second quarter. This is going to be the easiest game check that Tyler Pendergast and Bill Draper, the officials tonight, have ever made, possibly. Springfield, this is their third championship. They won last year. The other championship appearance was in 1990. And a game that offensively at least seems a little bit similar to this one, as they were second to Glencoe, losing 27-26. So a heartbreaker for Springfield's Millers in 1990. No matter what happens, this will be the 7th ever girls basketball state trophy for the Millers. About 2.5 minutes gone now here in the second quarter, and the Willamette deficit is 4-0. Brittany Glasso just looking down at the floor. Springfield's other trophies, along with the first place last year and the second place in 1990. Third place in 2001, fourth place in 1993, fifth in 2000, and seventh in 1998. 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Springfield still up by 4. And Willamette will hang out. A handful of years back, I was doing a championship game in Pendleton at the Convention Center at the 2A tournament. And at that time, Portland Christian had Kim Hill, who went on to Pepperdine to play volleyball. And she was the most dominant player in the tournament. They ended up taking on Salem Academy in that game. And Salem Academy in the first half played this game. They stood up at half court. Portland Christian stayed back in what for them was a 2-3 zone and let Salem Academy stand with the ball in their hip. And the only activity was in the final 30 seconds of each the first 2 quarters. Brittany Glassow, a sly smile on her face as she rocks back and forth. Better make sure she doesn't lift her feet as she does so. For the Willamette Wolverines, this is their 17th appearance in the playoffs. They are 27-19 all-time in playoff appearances, with 3 minutes and now 35 seconds left in the second quarter, and Willamette trailing by 4. Willamette has been to the quarterfinals 7 times and to the semifinals 5 times. This is their 3rd time into a championship. The other 2 times they were into the championship, Paul Brothers teams won in 2007. They defeated Churchill 45-29. Brothers said he's not sure if they really would have been considered the favorite in the game against Churchill in 2007, but he felt like that was probably a pretty evenly matched game that they came out and won for their first ever state title. In 2009, they played North Eugene, who was then coached by Bill Wagner. In fact, it was the second to last year before he came. Oh, now some activity. Well, they pretended. They've moved Lexi Bando up towards half court here. Obviously setting up for last shot. Glassow now standing on the near sideline. Paul Brothers crouched, staring. And it's Glassow just past the jump circle. 2009, Willamette's second title. They beat North Eugene, head coached by Bill Wagner, the coach of Springfield tonight, 49-33. And Brothers did say in that game they were the favorites in that game. He said this is probably the first time that they aren't the favorites coming into the championship game, or at least they're definitely the underdog. Again, that Churchill game probably could have gone either way. 2 minutes left in the second quarter. This also, like Springfield, will be the 7th girls basketball trophy that is brought home to Willamette High School. Their championships in 2007 and 2009. 3 times they've been to the 3rd place game and lost. So they took 5th in 2002, 2008, and 2011. And they finished in 7th in 2003. Last year they lost to Crescent Valley in overtime of the 3rd place game, 57-53. But they have made it to the tournament site every single year since the 5A basketball classification started in 2007. And they've been to the semifinals 4 of 5 times. 2010 being the lone time they didn't. Glassow looking around. I mean, at this point, people are looking up into the stands. Final minute. 55 seconds to be exact. Springfield 4, Willamette nothing. I don't think anybody's broke a sweat. I haven't. Bando whispering something to Glassow. 40 seconds left. .30 seconds left. .20 seconds left. And Brittany Glassow, the junior, continues to hold on her hip. Now they'll start. 14 seconds left. Bando with the dribble. Down by 4 for Springfield. And it's thrown away. Stolen by Ritchie. Ritchie coming out to the far sideline. 2 seconds left. Will she get a shot up? Top of the key, they won't. No shot there, but the steal means that after 1/2 of play, Willamette is scoreless. And I don't know what adjustments you make going into the locker room. Nobody's really shown their hand unless that is Willamette's hand. It is Springfield 4, Willamette nothing here at the half. We'll take a break here on OSAA.tv, and then we'll leave you with the sights and sounds and be back with the second half of action here tonight from Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from U.S. Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank.
we'll start it all over again. And hopefully this time we will see a little bit more activity. First half of the books, the Springfield Millers, the defending state champions, 4, Willamette 0. Not a typo. That is how the first half played out. All 4 points scored in the first quarter. Willamette is 0 for 3 from the field. Shots by Brittany Glassow and Lexi Bando from outside the perimeter that came begging. And Tori Mahaffey had a shot that was blocked at the hoop by Stephanie Fleisner. For Springfield, 1 of 3 from the field. Mercedes Russell hit a bucket. And it's going to be Springfield who opens up the second half. A top of the key 3, and the rebound poked away from Russell, secured by Kelsey Josh. And so Russell's unable to secure that one. Lexi Bando gives to Brittany Glassow. Kelsey Josh on the far side. Shanice Robertson now, along with Samantha Osborne. That's the 5 on the floor for the Willamette Wolverines. Shanice Robertson near side and gives back to Bando at half court, and she flips to Glassow. I suppose the reality is, though, if you're Willamette, you can't do this halfway. If this is the plan you think you've got to use to beat Springfield Millers, then you probably have to keep going with it. They're a lot more active here, trying to weave and prod and probe this defense for Springfield. Josh gives to Glassow up top. And I guess essentially Mercedes Russell is guarding Brittany Glassow right now. So every time she gets it, there's plenty of space given as Russell stays inside to protect the paint. Glassow again out on the right wing. Bando finds some space, floats one up, but it's going to be rebounded by Mercedes Russell. 6:20 on the clock here in the third quarter. Springfield's second possession of the third quarter, leading 4-0. Allison Hinton. Into the corner, Potter holding. Allison Hinton, Stephanie Fleisner, Kaylee Potter, Nikki Duncan, and Mercedes Russell. And if you're Springfield, the reality is this. You just care that you win a state title. Hinton at top of the key, 3 and rolls it in. And this is the reality is Willamette is only going to be able to be passive for so long. There becomes a point where the lead gets too great to make up without attacking the basket. This is going to take on a very different look than last year's title game between West Albany and Springfield that went 42-40 in favor of Springfield. Foul on Fleisner, her first, and the first on Springfield here in the second half. It's going to be an inbound in front of the scorer's table with 5:25 left in the third quarter. Kelsey Josh, the junior, to put it back in the backcourt for Lexi Bando. Got to figure Bando is chomping at the bit. One of the top guards in the state. Robinson bounces out to the wing. Osborne won't take the 3, and Robertson back up top. Glassow comes to get in. It's going to be Bando again. Around a pick. Hinton's able to move around that pick. Bounces off of Glassow, and she gets it back. 3 minutes gone here in the third period. Springfield's lead is 7-0. Already, Springfield defensively has set a record for 5A girls basketball defensively. It was in their quarterfinal against Wilsonville that they won 59-15. 15 points, the lowest total in 5A basketball history. Glassow's fouled on the near sideline. Fleisner was there with Duncan, and I think it's going to be Fleisner. It will. She picks up her second in a row. And now she'll come out of the game for Ashley Ritchie, a starter last year for the 2011 state championship team. And Ritchie forced a turnover there in the first half with a steal. Glassow and Robertson up top. The previous record before Springfield set the record for holding a team to low points in their quarterfinal win over Wilsonville was back in 2009. Summit was held to just 24 points by Jefferson Democrats. The state record, all classifications, was set last year in Pendleton, as Regis held Yoncalla to 12 points on their way to a state championship. Regis actually won another state championship earlier this year, about a week ago over in Pendleton, their third consecutive title. Halfway through the third quarter, and Springfield's lead is 7-0. Robertson gives to Bando. She'll take that three, and it's going to be short. And then a foul on Robertson, reaching around on the rebound. And I'm just not sure how warm your shooters can stay when they don't get to shoot. Duncan's going to come out of the ball game, and Fleissner comes back in. And Bill Wagner is giving Duncan explicit directions on how he wants her to be on defense. Duncan, a year ago at Churchill, transferred to Springfield this year to join this team that is 25-3. Hinton up top. And now it's going to be Potter. Ritchie to Potter in the corner for three, and Josh gets the rebound. 3:15 left here in the third period. A little bit more activity. Osborne wide open. She can shoot, but won't take that. Glassow can also shoot. She had 21 points in their quarterfinal victory over Milwaukee. Bando between the circles. Under 3 minutes left here in the third period. Josh and Osborne. How about the three this time? It's going to be short. And Mercedes Russell gets another rebound. And a foul in the backcourt on Lexi Bando. Bando picks up her first. And it is the second team foul on Willamette. And Bill Wagner will call a 30-second timeout. His first timeout. With 2.5 minutes left here in the third period. Springfield up 7-0. In the first half, I was talking about that game a few years ago with Kim Hill and Portland Christian against Salem Academy. And in the second half of that game, just like this one, there's starting to be a bit more activity after the first half of essentially nothing. And we're starting to see a little bit more activity. Willamette's getting a few more shots up. And the problem is when they miss, it's going to be a Mercedes Russell rebound. The important thing is on the other end of the floor, with Springfield taking all these outside shots. And really, Mercedes Russell, I can't remember a touch in the paint right now. That's where Springfield is so good offensively, is getting Russell the ball. 2:25 left here in the third quarter. 7-point lead for the Millers. Hinton up top, working around picks from Russell. Now they're going to try to get her inside, posted up. Out to the left side, Potter, bounce to Russell, it's poked away. Josh secures it, check that, it's Osborne. Some numbers here. Josh in the left corner for a three, and it misses everything, and Russell gets another rebound. 2 minutes left here in the third period. And a foul off of the ball. And way away from the ball because Hinton hadn't even crossed the timeline yet. It's going to go against Willamette. Bando picks up her second. That's going to be the third team foul on the Wolverines. The team in white, Springfield in blue. Hinton inbound on the baseline. Open, Potter. Now Glassow closes her out and back to Hinton. Glassow and Russell back-to-back battling on the block. And now Hinton's going to be the one who dribbles at half court. Ritchie on the far side, right in front of head coach Bill Wagner. Ritchie loses the handle. Josh to Osborne, 3-on-1, over to the left side. Glasso blocked and a foul. Russell is going to send Brittany Glasso to the line to shoot a couple. Last night in the win over West Albany, Brittany Glasso did not shoot a free throw. In the quarterfinal victory, Glasso ended up 4 of 7 from the free throw line. And that one rattles around and out. Duncan will come back into the game for Ritchie with 1:21 left here in the third quarter for Springfield. Brittany Glasso taking a long time to line up this free throw, and it's going to rattle in. And Willamette is on the board. 7-1 here in the third quarter. Springfield's advantage with about 1:10 left in the period. Hinton up top. Starting to attack and then pulling out and starting to attack and pulling out. Willamette is really packed in. I mean, they are asking Springfield to shoot on the outside. And Springfield has obliged, and they haven't really hit too much. In fact, the longest shot was hit by Mercedes Russell. Russell gets it down inside. She's dangerous there, back out. Hinton will reset. 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. 6-point lead for Springfield. Duncan circles in and kicks out into the corner. Potter was open, didn't want the shot. Russell now. Last year's player of the year, passes it up, the missed shot, and the rebound loose on the floor, jump ball. Possession arrow is Willamette's. Probably means Springfield's going to start with the ball here in the fourth quarter with 18.5 seconds left. And into the game for Willamette will be Kalani Kost, a 5'10 sophomore to replace Glasso. And Duncan exits again for Ritchie for Springfield. Duncan and Russell both are just juniors, and now we've got a little bit of activity. Both coaches have been called to the scorer's table. Paul Brothers, Bill Wagner, and the official scorer. They're both kind of laughing, I think. Oh, they reset the clock. 27.5 seconds left. They had about 10 seconds on the clock there. Lexi Bando with the dribble. Ten seconds left for the sophomore. Gives to Kost. Kost thinks about a three, stepped into it, but gives up to Shanice Robertson. 4 seconds left. Robertson circles in, it's poked away. Again, Willamette doesn't get a last shot up at the end of a quarter and instead turns the ball over. Well, 8 minutes left in this state championship game. Springfield 7, Willamette 1. And we'll be back with the fourth on OSAA.tv.
We were driving from Portland to California for a bike race when a tire went flat. We limped into Les Schwab, but it was closed for the night. Hoping for some good Les Schwab mojo, we began changing it ourselves. Just then, John appeared and reopened the store. He quickly assessed that all the tires were about to go and got us a new set so we could make the race. Super John deserves a medal for rescuing our road trip. I'm Kim Brown, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The University of Oregon's campus, the home of the Oregon Ducks, and the home of the 2012 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Girls Basketball State Championships. Springfield 7, Willamette 1. As I said at the start of the half, no, that's not a typo. we're definitely going to set a record for low game as far as points go in state tournament history at the 5A level. The previous record was 64 points between North Eugene and Ashland. That's 5A basketball, and it was back in 2009. Allison Hinton for Springfield. Out there along with Stephanie Fleisner, Ashley Ritchie, Kaylee Potter, and Mercedes Russell. She hit a bank shot down in that same area, but on the other end of the floor at the buzzer at the end of the first half to make it, at the end of the first quarter to make it 4-0. There was no scoring in the second quarter of play. Hinton comes around a pick and backs back up. Essentially now Springfield here in the second half has given Willamette a taste of their own medicine because they're really not prodding too much. There's a lob to Russell and a foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. It's been incredibly patient offense by Springfield when they've had the ball, and they've got what at times feels like an insurmountable lead. It's not true. I mean, Willamette can hit shots, and they can hit shots in bunches. In fact, it was one of the main things that Bill Wagner said about this game is we have to contain them offensively. We've been doing pretty well at this tournament, but we have to make sure that we contain their shooters. They got a couple of players who are just going to score just because. Although I don't think that Bill Wagner had any idea that this would happen. Russell, 3 of 7 in the win over Wilsonville at the free throw line, and 4 of 8 in the win over Bend. She goes 1 of 2 there, and it's a 7-point lead for Springfield. Kalani Koss, top of the key, 1 minute gone here in the fourth quarter. Koss on the right wing, gives to Lexi Bando. Bando coming to her left, gives to Kelsey Josh. As far as team fouls go, 4 on Willamette, 3 on Springfield. So neither team is really in danger of getting into the bonus quite yet. Bando out on the wing, almost thrown away. Osborne does well to keep it in play. Osborne is quite a long guard. She stands at 6 feet, but is a guard and truly is a guard. She's a sophomore as well, just like Bando. Bando will take it in and blocked away by Russell. Russell in the quarterfinal victory for the Springfield Millers had just 2 blocks, but yesterday, 4 blocks in the win over Bend. Hinton dribbling up top, gives to Russell. Faces up. Springfield up by 7. And she'll work into the lane, but hammered off the back iron, get her own rebound, and work in and get a foul. 2 more free throws coming from Mercedes Russell. 5:56 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Mercedes Russell, the Midwestern League Player of the Year for the second straight year, and it's going to be a full timeout for the Willamette Wolverines before the Russell shot. So Russell, a first-team All-Midwestern Leaguer, along with Allison Hinton. Nikki Duncan was a second-teamer, and then Stephanie Fleisner and Kaylee Potter, honorable mention. Last season, Russell was the State's Player of the Year at the 5A level, according to the Oregonian, and has been the Midwestern League Player of the Year 2 years in a row. She was named to the 2011 USA Women's Basketball U16 National Team and averaged 11.6 points and 11.4 rebounds and 4 blocked shots in the 2011 FIBA Americas U16 Championships, helping the U.S. win the gold medal where they went 5-0. At some point, the strategy is going to have to change, you would think. Springfield 8, Willamette 1, with 5:56 left here in the fourth period. Out of the Willamette timeout, Lexi Bando, Kelsey Josh, Brittany Glassow back onto the floor, Samantha Osborne, and Shanice Robertson. And Mercedes Russell is at the line. Among her other accomplishments, she established 4 U.S. Women's U16 records in her first game played, including rebounds, blocks, and free throws made. She had 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks against Brazil in group play, and posted 14, 13, and 5 against Puerto Rico in the semifinals. And she helped the U.S. qualify for the U17 World Championship in the Netherlands this August. Couple of free throws there for Russell. And it's 10-1 in favor of Springfield. Josh bounces to Osborne and out onto the right wing for Lexi Bando. Glasso a three, nothing but net. And with Willamette's first field goal of the game comes with 5:34 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Springfield's lead is at 6. Hinton with the dribble for the Millers. Gets to Russell. Really catching it a lot farther out on the perimeter than you would want a post player to catch it. Osborne right now is trying to work with Russell. Shanice Robertson can't really give up that inside position because she's supposed to be the backside help on Russell on the double team. And then she fronts Russell when they've got the ball on the other side, or at least side defense right now. Potter in the quarter, Russell coming across. And this good ball movement here by Springfield is going to be necessary. There comes a triple team. Hinton up top. 4:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Potter gives to Russell. Russell's going to try to baseline it in the lane, and she lays it in. Russell's got 7 of the 12 points for Springfield. And it's a 8-point lead for the Millers here with 4:12 left. Brittany Glassow has all 4 of Willamette's points. A 3-pointer the last time and a free throw. She works in and kicks out. You got to wonder if there's an opportunity here where Bando's going to get going. A hand check outside on Ritchie. And it'll be Ashley Ritchie's first. It'll be the 4th on Springfield. Sideline inbound here for Willamette. Other end of the floor, the Corvallis Spartans head back to the locker room. They'll actually have still about an hour to wait because they won't start the next game early, even though this game hardly took any time. Good offensive rebound there, poked away from Osborne. She kicks it back out. Another shot attempt. Bando flips to Glassow. How about another 3? And this one's short. Russell the rebound. She's got 7 of those and 7 points. In a 16-point game, she's still the most dominant player on the floor. 3:20 left here in the fourth quarter. Potter left open in that corner. Drives in and she's fouled and will go to the line to shoot a couple. Potter is 2 for 2 at the free throw line to account for 2 points. So she's got 2, Russell's got 7, and Hinton's got the other 3 with a 3-point shot. For Willamette, Glassow's got all 4. And the first one rims around and out. Springfield is 5 of 7 from the free throw line right now. Willamette as a team is 1 of 11 from the field. 3:12 left here in the fourth period, and the second one is up and off the back iron, and we have a lane violation on Springfield. I think Potter jumped early when she realized she had missed. So it'll be the Millers by 8 with 3:12 left here in the fourth period. And the question's going to be, can Willamette hit their shots? That's the only way they're going to be able to do it, and a timeout for the Wolverines. They'll have 3 left. Springfield has 4 left. So let's take stock here. Springfield 12, Willamette 4, 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. As I said, Willamette's Wolverines have 3 timeouts remaining. Springfield has 4 timeouts left. It is 6 fouls to 4 fouls. Willamette with 6, so they will put Springfield in the bonus with their next foul. And I guess the way this game is going, I'm not going to be shocked if they start putting Mercedes Russell at the free throw line here late in the game. Russell is, in this game, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. But as we said, she was 3 of 7 against Wilsonville and 4 of 8 in the game against Bend. So she came into this game 7 of 15 from the line. For the tournament now, she is 10 of 19. A little better than 50%. Robertson, and around the perimeter they go. Down into the corner for Glasso. Glasso attacks and kicks. They got to get Bando going, I would think. At this point in time, I can say it. It's going to be a Robertson jumper, and Russell gets the rebound. Willamette's shooting is just, they haven't been able to find the hoop here tonight. And it feels like beating a dead horse, but as I said, I don't know how your shooters can be warm if they're not shooting a whole lot. Now, they've shot a lot more here in the second half, but if you look at the first half of play, it was just a couple of shots. They were out to the right wing for Potter. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter here. Springfield 12 and Willamette 4. Potter in that right corner. Russell's actually in pretty good position if they want to give it to her, and Glasso will come out and foul her. And that is going to be the 7th team foul, so Kaylee Potter is going to be at the line. She is 2 of 4 there tonight. And Glasso picks up her first. So Potter yesterday in the win over Bend was 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And didn't shoot a free throw in the win over Wilsonville. Didn't hit the front end, and the ball is going to be tipped out off of Glasso's hip. It'll be Springfield ball. Up by 8 with 1:45 left, and now a timeout for Bill Wagner. And a substitution. Nikki Duncan's going to come back into the ball game for the Millers here on the other side of this timeout. As I said, we're late enough into this, I feel like I can say this now. Mercedes Russell is going to be a unanimous first-team all-tournament selection here in the 5A tournament in 2012, as she was a year ago. And in this game, Alexis Bando is also going to be an all-tournament first-teamer. Samantha Osborne for Willamette is going to be a second-teamer, along with Allison Hinton. And Brittany Glasso, who has all 4 of Willamette's points, is going to be a first-teamer in this tournament. So that's your look here for the teams in this game. Russell, a unanimous first-team selection, as is Bando for Willamette. Glasso for Willamette, a first-teamer. Osborne, a second-teamer. And for Springfield, Hinton, a second-teamer. 1:45 left here in the fourth period. And we'll go through the whole list here in the just seconds after the game ends. It's kind of an embargoed list. I'm allowed to start to say things late in the game. 1:40 left here in the fourth period. Springfield 12, Willamette 4. Allison Hinton guarded by Josh, and she'll be fouled. Second foul on Kelsey Josh. And this time it'll be Hinton at the line, who is scoreless in the game. Hinton is one of 5 seniors on this Springfield team. In the win over Bend, she was 1 for 4 from the field. She didn't shoot a free throw, and she misses that one. Robertson secures the rebound for Willamette. Still an 8-point lead for the Millers with 1:25 left. Bando will circle into the paint, bring it all the way around, and a foul drawn on Russell. So Lexi Bando will go to the line to shoot a couple. Bando in yesterday's win over West Albany had a game-high 22 points. She was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Misses that one, though. In the quarterfinal win over Milwaukee, she was 4 of 4 from the free throw line. So she had only missed 1 free throw coming to this point. In that win over Milwaukee, by the way, she had 12 points and 10 rebounds. Missed them both. And the rebound is secured out on the near sideline by Fleister, and she's fouled. And she'll go to the under end of the floor to shoot the 1-and-1. 1:16 left here in the fourth quarter. Springfield 12, Willamette 4. And Springfield will actually clear 3 guards out of the lane and leave just Mercedes Russell. It's a 1-and-1 situation, so Duncan will come out and Potter will come back in. So as far as the 5 seniors go, Fleischner at the line is one of them. Hinton is another. Potter is a third. We haven't yet seen the 6-foot post Justice Solomon, nor we did see for just a brief moment the 5'8 senior Whitney Bradshaw. Bradshaw actually played 12 minutes yesterday in the win over Bend. Both knocked down there by Fleischner. 14-4, it's a 10-point lead. And another timeout for the Willamette Wolverines. 1:12 left, and you got to hit outside shots at this point. Down by 10 with 1:12 left. That would be the case no matter what the score was if it was a 10-point differential. And the question's going to be, can Willamette hit those outside shots? The quarterfinal opener over Milwaukee, the team who finished in 4th place at this tournament, Willamette was 29% from three-point land, 5 of 17. They were 42% from the field, shooting 21 of 50. Their opponent, Milwaukee, shot just 25% from the field at 10 of 40 and were 3 of 18 from outside the arc. Yesterday evening in the 47-33 win over West Albany, Willamette shot 6 of 16 from outside the three-point line. That's 37.5%. They were 12 of 35 from the field, so 6 of their 12 field goals were three-point shots. West Albany was 1 of 8 from outside the arc and shot just 29% in the game. Although the teams against Springfield have not had a lot of offensive success, as we said. What was a new 5A record was set by Wilsonville in the first game. At a timeout there as Bando hits a runner with 60 seconds left to cut the Springfield lead down to 8. It's 14-6. We're going to say it is right now, but it's teetering on no longer being the record for lowest points in a 5A basketball game. Wilsonville's 59-15 loss back on the 7th here at the tournament on Wednesday afternoon to Springfield to open the tournament up. In that game, Springfield shot 40% from the field. They were 4 of 17 from outside the three-point line, but Russell got a bunch of rebounds, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And they shot just 53% from the free throw line. So free throws are kind of a Achilles heel for this Springfield team. 53% against Wilsonville at 7 of 13, and 50% yesterday against Bend at 9 of 18. However, their opponents, Wilsonville, 14% from the field, 6 of 41, and Bend, 17.5% from the field at 7 of 40. There were only 13 field goals hit against them coming in. There's a little break here for Springfield, but they'll slow it up and give to Russell, who hands to Hinton. 50 seconds left. Willamette's got a pressure. Down by 8. Somebody's got to be fouled here. They'll get it to Russell. Why not foul her? I know she's the player of the year in the state last year, and arguably she'll be again this year, but she's about a 55% free throw shooter. At this point, if your style of game is we're going to slow this game down as long as possible, essentially not play the first half, I guess why not hack a Russell too? It's going to be Hinton at the line. I mean, Springfield as a team hasn't been spectacular from the free throw line, but I think they got some swagger right now. And they're making their free throws down the stretch. And if they do that, they're going to win the state championship. 41.3 seconds left. Willamette has 1 timeout left. Hinton makes them both. It's a 10-point lead. Bando will bring it up. Josh almost loses the handle. Bounces to Bando. Bando to Robertson. Osborne will attack, float one up, and draw a foul on Ritchie. And the Springfield fans starting to celebrate because they feel this one. 24.2 seconds left. Even if Osborne hits them both, it'll be an 8-point deficit. And Osborne didn't hit the first. As a team, Willamette is 2 of 13 from the field and 1 of 5 from the free throw line. 1 of 8 from outside the arc. And a foul on the sideline, and shots coming for Nikki Duncan, the junior, for Springfield, with 22 seconds left. 16-7. I really do enjoy talking to both these head coaches. Bill Wagner for Springfield, Paul Brothers for Willamette. I'm going to be honest, they were both very, very relaxed. I talked to the coaches for the boys championship game a little bit earlier in the day as well, and it wasn't such a relaxed feeling for Greg Garrison, the defending champion Corvallis Spartans head coach, nor Kyle Bracey for the Milwaukee Mustangs, who are trying to win their second state title ever, their last one in 1954 for Milwaukee. These coaches were pretty loose here about 45 minutes before the game. Both understood the situation, that this game could be a battle because the two teams knew each other well. Out of bounds, Bando flings the ball to the official out of frustration, and Springfield is going to clear their bench as Bradshaw came in briefly. And now a huge hand and big tugs for Wagner and all his girls over on the other end of the floor as the Springfield bench starts to celebrate. They've got the ball, full court pressure, 10 seconds left. And the inbound goes in. Willamette ends up with it. Josh to Glassow. Robertson, but Osborne a three, and it's off the back iron at the buzzer. Springfield will win. All sorts of records set, and Springfield has won their second consecutive state title. Mercedes Russell, a unanimous first-team selection, 7 points and 8 rebounds, definitely the player of this game. Allison Hinton had 5 points. She's going to be a second-team all-tournament selection. The other all-tournament selections for the first team, Russell and Willamette's Alexis Bando along with Brittany Glassow. Russell and Bando and West Albany's Samantha Signer were all unanimous selections. Michaela Isaac of Bend rounds out the first team. The second team, Milwaukee senior Nicole Hannafan, Osborne of Willamette, Hinton of Springfield, Allie McConnell of Bend, and Hermiston senior point guard Mallory Moss. That's your second team all-tournament team. Your state champions here in 2012, the Springfield Millers. They win 16-7. They don't really care how it went. They just care that they won the championship, and that's what they've done. They will celebrate again over 15 minutes away in Springfield to the east of where we are here in Eugene at Matthew Knight Arena. Well, it was definitely an interesting one here tonight, bringing it to you from the high atop area of Matthew Knight Arena in the University of Oregon in Eugene. And we thank you for joining us for the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Basketball State Championships. Springfield 16, Willamette 7. They are the state champions for the second consecutive year. For our producer, Scott LeBounty, and our cameraman, Ward Biagni, I'm Eric Olson. So long from Eugene on OSAA.TV. We'll talk to you again soon.